I think it's a miracle, people. It's a miracle. And I am here for it. What is up, people? Happy Metal Monday. Oh, no. What happened? There we go. All right, happy Metal Monday. What's up? How you doing? It's been a long weekend, mostly because I spent most of it, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say I spent most of it on my knees, but I really that's not what I meant, because that just sounds weird. No, I was at my son-in-law's yesterday. We spent a good portion of our afternoon helping him put in a new floor in his dining room. That was fun. It was Pergo. I sometimes I say wood floor. I mean, it's not really wood, but it looks like wood. It turned out beautiful. We're very happy about it. And my daughter's very happy about it. We're, whatever. Anyway, hi, it's Monday. We get caught up for the news for the weekend because I didn't pay attention to it most of the weekend because I was doing stuff, I was doing the Lord's work. So, so now we're going to get caught up. There's a ton to do. We're going to hit headlines and not get too in depth today because it's Monday. That's what we do. But I have to laugh about the city by the bay. All of a sudden, they've solved the homeless problem. That's the one thing that I do want to get a chuckle about once we get into the news. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Somebody, what's that guy's name over there? What's your name? Yeah, you. Johnny, play the intro. Yes, right now. No, now. What's it? Stop this. Play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Oh, yes, that would be me. Stop that music. Thank you, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel on this Monday, the 13th of November, 2023. I got my sugar cookie. I got my reparations coffee and the slut cup. The slut cup's getting a little faded because I didn't know it was not dishwasher safe. But this was the slut cup was given to me by my son-in-law. And it says slut, but that stands for Salt Lake City, Utah, because that's where he got it. And I very much enjoy the slut cup. No inferences from that. Anyway, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Like I said, I was Saturday. I was working on some furniture. I refinished furniture just kind of as a hobby pseudo side gig. And I'm gonna part my cookie. And then Sunday, one of my daughter and son-in-law's house put in a new, I call it a wood floor. It's actually Pergo, but we put in a new wood floor in their dining room because the house they just bought. And I got to see the grandbaby. Grandbaby came up, gave me a big old hug. I'm so happy. And so that was my weekend. I hope you did something fun or exciting or productive. Any of the above sounds good to me. Let's get into the show. And by the way, already the sponsors are banging on the door. Wait a minute, what is this? Oh, damn, Gunfox, you are prolific this morning. You already, because I just reset the thing after your first one. Gunfox dropping a bunch of Hamiltons in the tip jar, and oh my goodness, a bunch of articles that they're gonna blow my mind. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop out these articles. The first one, he says, they are breaking under the tide. Okay. I know what that one's about. And then the second one, he says, German stores lack basic goods. I don't know what that one's about. Okay. That's weird. In the third one, blame Trump for this one. Okay. We'll see what that one is. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. And the last one, tap dance around this landmine. So I'm giving you some what do you call that? Not precursor, not forecasting. No, there's a word for that. When you hint at what the things are going to be, but you don't actually say what they are. So I'll figure it out. So anyway, let's say hi to everyone who's here and then get the show started like I always do. Foreshadowing. Thank you. Avocados Diablo always has the words for me. And Man Squatch had it too. You kind of did it at the same time on different channels. Foreshadowing. That is foreshadowing. But I have so much to get to today. I can't spend a whole lot of time on anything. So let's say hi to everybody. Oh, I didn't even set up the chat. I'm still on top chat over here. Let me put some. Although I don't have enough people here to not be. I mean, top chat and full chat are the same. Anyway, first over on Rumble, Mr. Avocados Diablo gets the bell because you were first, and I knew my camera's on. I clicked it just after you typed that in. Anyway, also Jimmy Das Hotep's in the house. Oops, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Jimmy Das Hotep's in the house. Also, Tall Person's here. Next Gen Trolls here. Man Squatch. We got a lineup over on Rumble. It's more than just a couple people. I like it. I love it. And apparently there's 9 people watching, and I know I'm one of them. So if there's more of you that haven't said hi, say hi on Rumble too. Even if you're watching on YouTube, say hi on Rumble too. If you have 2 windows open. Okay, first to the chat on YouTube was Mr. Carol Soldier. Got here first. Way to go. You got in there just that much before AD. Avocados Dabbly also is in the chat over there. Good morning also to my good friend Sydney Oberg. Nice to see you again. Are you playing basketball this year? You used to play basketball. I'm curious. Also, good morning T2. At the Anonymity Terminator 2, T2. Bishop's in the house. What's up? Special Can Acid. Gunfox61, the prolific contributor to and administrator of the Discord server for the Dawg Knight Channel. Good morning also to GDSOB, Somnambule Nation, Grillin' Pirate Pete. Oh, I forgot. I did retweet those ribs you made. Those look damn good. So Pete puts his ribs in anything he throws in the smoker on Twitter, X, whatever it is, formerly known as Twitter. And oh my God, those look good. I'm just, every time I'm like, my mouth's watering right now, just thinking about it. Okay. Also, good morning. A Tall Person's also on YouTube. Judah Fiend's back. Nice to see you. My favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies in the house. Let's see. Simon Wolfwood's here. Good morning. Rick Ashbringer, Attack Alpaca, Fake News Expert, Mason Cornish. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Man needs a new intern. Yeah, I might. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, also, wait a minute. Oh, I scrolled too fast. Where did I leave off here? I left off right there. Cannibalistic Wizards in the house. Also, let's see, who's here? Shrapnel's in the house. Nice to see you. Now we got Bishop and we got Tub Bishop. So Tub Bishop's here. Ayo to you too. And Tex AG 007. So gang's all here. We're loaded up for bear. Make sure you share the stream. The show is sponsored by you. If you want to drop a dime or two in the tip jar, that you can do that this side. That pdognight.live. That thing pops up in the chat every once in a while. In fact, I'll just pin it to the top so you know where that is all the time. And hit the like button. You know, it's always the ratio of likes always helps. You know what, I've been thinking about this. So for about 4 of the 5 years that I've done this show, maybe even more, every time I start one of these streams, okay, YouTube automatically puts it into the limited monetization, and anything that they put in limited monetization, they do not send out. I didn't even think about this. They only will send notifications to people who are subscribed to you, and not even all the people who are subscribed to you. About 20% of these people subscribed to you are the people who, show up here regularly. So even though I have 2,000 whatever subscribers, which is not that much after being on here for how long I've been on here, it doesn't matter. They don't send it out to anybody because of the restricted monetization. And then I always appeal it every day. And then every day they pretty much, change to full monetization. But by then it's too late. Nobody watches a 2-hour live stream after the fact, except for occasionally, some of you do because, you get caught up and stuff. So I am so reliant on you to grow the channel. Greg Rogers, good morning, sir. That says the slut cup is getting worn out already. It is really getting used at your place. Well, I've had it for a while too, but it's because of the dishwasher. Okay, it's because I have a plethora of cups. In fact, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get a PO box. Okay, and I know I maybe open up floodgates if I do this, but I kind of collect coffee cups from places that I go. But I thought, I could, if I got a PO box, I could have y'all send me coffee cups or something, or if you send me surprises, and we'll do what do you call it when you open up a box on YouTube? You do a reveal something. One of those unboxing. You do unboxing videos, and I could do unboxing videos of shit people send me. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Although, oh God. I'm just thinking of some of the things that y'all would send me, though. I don't know about that. It'd be like, yeah, I don't need one of those. Anyway, all right. Am I missing anybody? Did I get everybody so far? I think I did. Tyler F's in the house. Hello, Tyler F. Quick thank yous to the people who've already shared the show also. Find my notifications here. Thank you so much to... Oh, well, Miss Pinky retweeted my show. How about you, Miss Pinky? I hope you showed up this morning. Also, Jimmy Dots Hotep shared the show. Dark Horse Rising. Retro, that's a new person that hasn't done that before. Also, Man Squatch, Tall Person, Grill and Pirate Pete, Somnambul Nation. Thank you all. Again, thank you so much for sharing the show. All right, let's get into it because, it takes some time. It takes some time to do this show, and I need to get on it. Now, I am going to just start foreshadowing the story that I'm featuring up there. And then I got to get to Gun Fox's 4 stories. Gun Fox dropped this morning, dropping Hamiltons for each one of them. You don't know how much I appreciate it. Just trust me. I appreciate it more than you absolutely freaking know. So we'll do those, and then we'll just do the rundown of the news stories of the day. So, but the first one though was the one that I just found ironic, hilarious, sad, just I'm dumbfounded by it. Okay, and we'll start because Reaction Puerto Rico sent this to me. Also known as Guns and Coffee. By the way, follow the people on this who are on this show, like Guns and Coffee, GUNSANDCAFE. That's Reaction Puerto Rico's new X handle, where he does more political stuff, and then he does a little bit on both. But anyway, this is the one that I saw this morning that it literally made me laugh a little bit, and that is how the city of San Francisco has solved its homeless problem. It's a miracle on how they have solved their homeless problem in like just a couple days. So here's the tweet that Reaction sent me, where he says, city officials kept you, U.S. citizens, surrounded by needles and feces for years, but were quick to clean up for the arrival of the communists. There's your answer on who really controls the country. So here it is from Citizen Free Press, which both were, it's an embedded tweet. San Francisco magically cleans up the streets ahead of Xi Jinping's visit. Homeless encampments have been cleared out. Local man wants to know why it isn't always this way. What about the people who live here year round? Here's a story from Fox 2 in San Francisco. I left my heart in San Francisco. Hello, James Stoner and Reaction Puerto Rico, you lovely island. Okay, here's the story.
Yes, that's right. The summit is expected to bring in $53 million.
So there's
filling hotel rooms.
Oh, it's so what it is. It's not just Xi Jinping, but it's a whole bunch of people coming in for some kind of. I don't know what the summit is, but they're having this big shindig, worldwide shindig in San Francisco. So all of a sudden, San Francisco is clean, no poop on the streets. The homeless people are cleared out. I want to know what they did with them all. what did they do with them all? I'm curious because all of a sudden, because I know they tried to make some of the hotels. The city bought some hotels downtown and did that, but I'm just wondering what they did with all these people. Okay, here we go.
But this cleanup is much more extensive.
Like, what's up?
While San Francisco is in the
whole
spotlight
damn
for the Asia-Pacific
the
Economic
APEC conference, yeah.
City leaders are making sure the city shines.
They're cleaning
Tourism
it up.
is our business here in San Francisco, and we need to focus
Now,
on...
I wonder though. I want to know if they're going to be tough on crime during this time. Man Squatch is in the house over. Oh, you're already there. Anyone who's running against these guys simply needs to say they wouldn't clean it up for you. They won't. And you know what? Here's the other thing though. Republicans ain't gonna do shit about this. They ain't gonna go in there and do anything. We'll talk about that in a minute. Jimmy Das Hotep sent me a thing too that I'm like laughing. It's like, where are the Republicans that can say, why didn't you do this all the time? Anyway.
Making sure that the tourist dollars still come back.
Caltrans repaving major roadways like the Harrison Street off-ramp.
They're
for the
even.
I-80, but doubling down by deep cleaning their stations overnight more often.
Look at
The city
this.
had gotten a little bit dingy over time.
Scrubbing and power washing is happening all over
All
the city.
over the
The bottom of my
city.
shoes look clean. Like,
It's noticeable how clear the streets look. and
Yeah,
how few
where are all the
homeless
people? Where are all the
encampments there are
tents?
on major thoroughfares?
Even last time I was in San Francisco, like in 2019, there was a lot of, man, it wasn't as bad as like in the last couple of years, but man, there was a lot of tents in certain sections. There are a lot of homeless people wandering around.
longtime resident in the Bay Area, you just naturally start to wonder of like houseless folks being displaced.
Public Works is installing
Oh, now you're worried about the houseless folks being displaced.
of crosswalks in North Beach and Chinatown, and the Webster Street pedestrian bridge in Japantown was recently repainted.
Oh,
the Yerba
isn't
Buena
that
Gardens
pretty?
at the Moscone Center are decked out with new colorful landscaping and murals,
Oh,
paid for by
isn't
the
that
Clean
nice?
California grant. Just in time for the
Just in
20,000
time.
high-profile CEOs and heads of
Just
state
in
coming
time.
into town next week. Some people say this should be how it's always done.
What about the people who are here year-round? You know,
Yep.
like local, hardworking, working-class Bay Area folks.
Others welcome the cleanup.
Anything that brings in a positive look on the city of San Francisco is great.
We will continue to do everything we can to maintain cleanliness in our streets.
Oh, thank you, London. You've been a mayor for what, 3 years, and now you do this?
And city officials are saying that there are no additional funds that are being allocated for beautification.
Really?
Departments are just using existing budgets.
Wait a minute.
They
These
also-
budgets already existed? And you just wait, these budgets already existed, and you did this now.
also say that those budgets are being moved so that they can focus on the areas where APEC is taking place. The
Maybe
summit
they'll
is
work on the
expected to
crime,
start
too.
on
I want a bunch
Wednesday,
of those.
And of course, people will start coming into town over the weekend and early next week.
Yeah, because this goes from, I think it started today, and it goes through the 17th. So basically this entire week. So San Francisco, if you want to visit San Francisco, this would be the best time to do it because it's about the only week of the year that it's going to be clean and you won't get robbed. I wonder how many of these people who are here for the conference are going to get mugged, or if they have a rental car, if they're going to get carjacked. Or if they're they get a smash and grab out of their cars. It's going to be interesting to see if that happens. Wouldn't that be wild if it happened to like Xi Jinping or something? Like they have his limo there, and all of a sudden somebody smash and grabs the limo while he's in the conference. Anyway, so that's what's happening in San Francisco. Isn't that special? And I have another story on that later, but we're gonna go do just a few tweets. I'm not doing even Twitter trends today. I didn't even put it in the list because I have so many damn stories of them. But the next one is this one, and this is one Jimmy Das Hotep sent me. This one is also one of those things where you go, hey, Man Squatch says, what do you call a Republican in San Francisco? A hostage. Yeah, no doubt. And meanwhile in Oakland, scene of homeless people stacked 9 deep. Yeah, what they did, I'm sure they did. They said, okay, here, for this week, we're going to give you $50 and we'll give you a free bus ride to Oakland. You can hang out over there until this conference is over. That's probably what happened. Anyway, so now in Chicago, another town that has its issues, apparently the people in Chicago have had enough with the sanctuary city issue in Chicago. So Jimmy Das Hotep tweeted this: imagine being the GOP chairwoman and not being able to offer these folks, fellow citizens, a meaningful platform. They could, but they refuse to go to these cities. The question is why? Remove illegals, remove regulation, give them back their rights and voice. Oh, damn, man. Damn, you're making too much damn sense. So here's what happens. The black citizens of Chicago say they demand Democrats end to the sanctuary city policies and threaten to vote for Republicans or independents. Here's the problem. There's no damn Republicans or independents. Well, I mean, I don't know if there's independents, but the independents are people like Brandon Johnson who are just freaky out there on the left of the left. The Republicans aren't going in these places. And they threaten to vote for Republicans. If I was a Republican in the Chicagoland area, I would be in these cities talking to these people. Here it is. Listen to this. These people are mad. They're mad as hell, and they're not going to take it anymore. Here it goes. Click.
We're here to say to black aldermen who are elected by the black citizens of Chicago.
Hello, number one.
We're fed up with you not hearing our stress and
Fed up.
demands.
They're fed up.
Rather do what you want to do to please the Democratic Party.
Damn.
We're fed up with you for not taking the lead to stop the buses. We're fed up with you for not demanding of Brandon Johnson to remove illegal immigrants from our communities. And we're also here to say we are denouncing Alderman William Hall and Lamont Robinson for going to the border to look into the eyes of illegal immigrants, but has failed to look into the eyes of homeless
Right.
women and children and other citizens of Chicago.
Ain't doing shit for the city of Chicago.
Who have served this country who are homeless. Have you looked into their eyes? Alderman Yancey, Alderman Hall, Alderman Robinson, there are 68,440 homeless people in Chicago.
Okay, how do they
We
know
have
that number
black-
so specifically?
Black school-age children sleeping in cars. Have you looked into their eyes? No, you have not.
But they went to the border to look in the eyes of the
In
immigrants.
hotels in the city of Chicago, paid by the citizens of Chicago. The white corporate-dominated news media have been unwilling to
Oh,
discuss the
wait a
role
minute.
that never happened before about how immigration is contributing to deteriorating economic and social conditions for blacks who live on the south and west side of Chicago. If this mass increase in immigration continues, all wages and employment for black workers and potential workers will fall.
Well, all
Our
workers.
position is that we will
All
not
workers.
quietly sit by and allow poor, destitute people from around the world come to Chicago and be dumped into poor, destitute communities in the city of Chicago.
And they're hoping they'll vote for him.
The political agenda of black aldermen, the mayor of the city of Chicago, and the
Well, your mayor's crazy.
governor of the state of Illinois, as well as the president of the United States.
Oh, damn! She called out Joe Biden.
We feel as if it's time for us to act.
Come on, man.
So these are our demands for black
Let's hear
aldermen
it.
in this city, for the mayor in this city, and for the governor of the state of Illinois.
Let's hear it.
Number one, we want the mayor to sign the executive order immediately ending sanctuary cities.
Yep.
Remove illegal immigrants from our communities. We demand of the mayor and aldermen to not allow any more busloads of illegal immigrants into the city of Chicago. We demand that the aldermen vote no on the budget that includes an additional $150 million or more, or any amount for immigrants. Because these are
Just ignore the guy's
we demand
diaper.
a funded office of freedmen
Yeah, I don't think he's wearing that
of
face
American
mask correctly.
slaves. We support the candidacy of Republicans.
Oh,
independents,
shit!
and Democrats who oppose
There are none.
sanctuary
There are none in Chicago.
We support.
Unfortunately, I can't. That's as loud as it
Illinois
goes.
African Americans
That's
for
about as loud as it
equitable
goes.
redistricting map and Standing Committee for Black Student Achievement. And we demand that the land grab of senior citizens' homes and to replace us with illegal immigrants. Those are our demands.
Uh-oh, she
And
said
this
replace.
is what
Uh-oh, did she? Wait, hold on. Whoa. Did she just say replace us? Did she just say replace us?
That's racist!
Hold on. What did she say?
We demand that you support Illinois African American for equitable redistricting map and Standing Committee for Black Student Achievement. And we demand that the land grab of senior citizens' homes and to replace us with illegal immigrants.
Oh,
Those are our demands. And this is what we
man.
expect our
Ooh, that's some racist dog whistle right there.
Representing everybody.
She don't want them to replace us.
Illegal immigration and everything else. We voted
All right.
to get
I think you get the point.
the power so that you can represent our interests. And we have concluded that you're not representing our interests, and we are organizing. We are organizing to remove any politician, black, white, otherwise, if you're not going to represent the interests of black people in the city of Chicago.
Give it up! Give it up! Give it up! Woo! There ain't no Republicans to replace anybody there, so they're going to be stuck with that shit. Anyway, thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, for sending me that. That's fantastic. All right, moving on. We also got, what's the other? I clipped a few. Oh, thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico. Any arrest near the APEC will be charged federally. Ooh, that's possible. That's the conference in San Francisco. Because, you know, they cleaned up San Francisco good. Now, I had another one. Here's another one. So another example of I'm going to be coming back and forth this often, but here's another example of the beautification of San Francisco. Look at that. Look at how clean those streets are.
Imagine how the economy are.
Here it is.
Here we are, downtown San Francisco.
Looking spotless. Damn. Not a tent to be found. They got the streets locked down.
I'm a big fan of these barricades. It's sad our country's not safe enough. It's sad they got to put up barricades.
Hello, Eric Meredith. So that's.
Can you imagine how the economy are?
Okay, so that's enough of that. All right, so that's what San Francisco is looking like right now. All right, next. Excuse me, I didn't mean to burp in the microphone. That's kind of gross. Now, also we got a little problem. I only have a few of these, but this one is Greta Thunberg. Had a little problem. They're having a climate justice rally somewhere in the world where Greta Thunberg was kind of the featured speaker, right? And unfortunately, hello, Lord Stanhope. Unfortunately, Greta Thunberg, that's the same one from Reaction Puerto Rico. Again, thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico, for sponsoring the show. Greta Thunberg was speaking, and but it's a climate summit, a climate action summit, and somehow, for some unknown reason, Greta Thunberg is wearing one of those, those like scarves that the Palestinians wear. She's wearing one of these scarves that the Palestinians wear, and she got interrupted. And this is a little of the left eating their own thing here. Here we go. Listen to this.
We have not been listening. The people
So this
of
guy's-
power have not been listening.
I come here for a climate demonstration, not a political view.
Yeah, see that? So she's out there stumbling. Well, listen to this carefully. This is what she says.
Calm down.
Like, all these people are like, listen to what she says now. Listen to what she says. This turns into something besides a climate thing. Because look at all these people. No climate justice on occupied land. Oh my God. So somehow the climate rally has turned into a anti-Israel rally too. Now it's fascinating to me because the question that one of the questions that Ben Shapiro comes up with, and I know Ben Shapiro's Jewish, he's a total Israel guy and whatever. But the question is, when you say free Palestine, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by free Palestine? What part of Palestine? And then the answer is always, well, from the river to the sea. Well, that means you clear out all the Israelis. That means you eliminate all the Jews. That's what Greta Thunberg's on the from the river to the sea kick, I guess. Apparently, that has nothing to do with climate as far as I'm concerned, but that's where she's at. So anyway, I just thought that was fascinating. And then finally, my last little Twitter thingy here that I'm going to put up is, what is this one? Let's see. This is, President Biden tweeted this morning. President Biden, one of the most prolific and fantastic presidents that we've ever had. Brilliant mind and constantly says just some of the most brilliant things. And he tweeted this morning, and I was confused because he says, I don't look at the economy through the eyes of Wall Street and Park Avenue. I look at it through the eyes of the people I grew up with in Scranton, Pennsylvania, or Claymont, Delaware. Now, I don't know what that means. Can anybody decipher that for me? Anybody? What the hell does that mean, Joe? I don't look at the economy through the eyes of Wall Street or Park Avenue. I look at it through the eyes of the people I grew up in Scranton. You know, people, and I don't even know if anyone in Scranton even remembers Joe ever being there, but he keeps saying he grew up there. I think they left when he was 8 years old. But Scranton's probably hurting under your economy, and I'm pretty sure the people in Claymont, Delaware are hurting under your economy. Remember, food is about twice the price it was before you took office. Gas is certainly at least $1 more higher than it was before you took office. Everything costs more. The economy through the eyes of the people, they think it sucks. So what are you talking about, Joe? He means look at the economy through the eyes of the little people, P-Dog. He's implying it is good for normal people. Yeah, that's what he thinks. The people he grew up with are all dead. That too. So I just found that, well, okay. Let me use the words of the great philosopher, the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama once said, what the fuck are you talking about, Joe? That's what the Dalai Lama said to him. Anyway, okay, let's just get into news headlines now because we got time to get through all these. Let me just double check notifications real quick. Thank you. Let's see, more people tweeting out the show. Wait, Darren. Oh, who's Darren? Darren's. Oh, you're replying to somebody else. Gotcha. Okay. Wait a minute. Breaking. Any arrests made around a near APEC event zone will be charged federally. According to the San Francisco Police Department, Highway Patrol, National Guard, FBI, and CIA are not fucking around with anybody making. Oh, this is the tweet that you were talking about. Here we go. Let me put this. I'll put this on the screen real quick. So this is something. World Peace Movement. Somebody named Darren Stalkup. Okay. Breaking. Any arrests made around or near the APEC event, which is, I don't know what this stands for, but Asian Pacific something economic conference or some shit like that. Event zone will be charged federally. San Francisco Police Department, Highway Patrol, National Guard, FBI, and CIA are not fucking around with anybody making trouble. If you are caught breaking the law or causing any disruptions, enforcement will not be lenient, unlike the typical San Francisco prosecution. Now that is fascinating. That is fascinating. Will they be able to keep the streets clean with this policy? I can't imagine how the people of San Francisco would be overjoyed that the fact that their city's clean and no one's getting beat up and no one's the smash and grabs. We'll see how many smash and grabs there are this week because they average like hundreds of them every week. So we'll see how that works out. Let's see. World Peace hoodie. Oh, then they sell some World Peace Movement hoodies. All right. So thank you again, Reaction on Puerto Rico, for contributing to the show. All right. Let's get into Gun Fox's articles before I forget, because he sent me what? He sent me 4. You know, he sent me 3. Yeah, he sent me 4 articles. So we're gonna get to these real quick. Then we'll do the news headlines. Then we'll get out of here. All right. Which is going to be a while, so don't leave yet. I foreshadowed. Foreshadowing, remember foreshadowing? I foreshadowed that I'm going to get out of here, but that's a long way away. Okay, let's start with this one. This is one of the, again, Gun Fox dropping Hamilton the Chip Jar left me an article. In fact, you can do that too. If you want me to read articles that you see, just throw a buck or two in the tip. You don't have to even do a Hamilton every time, although it helps. But drop something in the tip jar and put an article with it, and I will guarantee it. I will get to it during the show. I'll make it my life's ambition. So here is this is a Democratic governor who says she can't handle any more migrants. Oh, damn! Another one. Hello, Democrats. Way to go. Massachusetts is facing a significant influx of migrant families seeking shelter, pushing the state's emergency shelter system close to its limit. Governor Maura Healey has raised concerns about the capacity with 40 to 50 new families arriving daily, and the system accommodating over 7,400 families. Okay, I think I'm going to sound cruel here. How about you stop accommodating them? If you go somewhere and you're not can't be accommodated, wouldn't you just if I would find someplace else to be accommodated? But isn't Boston a sanctuary city too? Maybe not, because the Boston people are pretty nasty. Anyway, the state's right. Oh, well, here's the problem. The state's right to shelter law entitles migrant families to taxpayer-funded emergency shelter. And it's the only state in the United States with such a law. That explains it. That explains it right there. Oh my gosh. To address the crisis, the state is taking various measures, including increasing the number of guardsmen available to work unstaffed shelter sites and setting up overnight shelter sites for families and pregnant women with no alternative options. Well, if you have a right to shelter law in your state, I would go there if I was a migrant. That's the first place I go. I'd have a right to shelter, and they'll feed me and the clothes. I don't have to do shit. I just go there, and I'm good. He says Healy says there are a lot of places in the country where people can go once they cross into the United States. Hey, I got a better idea. Let's stop them from crossing into the United States without a legal method. That would make more sense. In an ideal world, our shelter system can do just what it has done, flex to accommodate a wave of people seeking shelter. But the reality is our state cannot meet the current demand. And United Way President Bob Giannino. There it is, Giannino. I just had to look at it a little longer and sound it out. Massachusetts is in a new phase of managing our emergency shelter system, and we are doing everything possible to ensure the safety and well-being of families, added Emergency Assistance Director General Scott Rice. So, additionally, and now they mention a Republican at the bottom. Additionally, a Republican lawmaker has introduced an amendment to require recipients of right to shelter benefits to be legal residents for at least 3 years, although it has not yet advanced in the legislature. And of course, it will not, because it's Massachusetts and they're a bunch of buttholes and they don't know any better. So anyway, and so there you go. Governor Healy?
Your life makes me sad.
Okay, so she's bringing it out herself. All right, now, next, what else? What other fresh hell has Gunfox sent to me? Let's see what we got here. It's from ESSA News. Oh, yeah, they're having problems. Do you know they're having problems in Germany now? Apparently in Germany, they're sounding the alarm. There's a catastrophic situation in stores in Germany. German media are raising the alarm about stores running out of basic goods. Shelves are being empty and matters could potentially worsen before the holidays. Now, the reason for these shortages in stores, is a supply worker strike organized by labor unions with an agreement appearing to be far off. There's a growing concern that the situation may worsen before the holidays. The portal T-Online indicates that the next round of talks is set by Commerce only on December 6th. Many goods are already in shortage. Daily newspaper Handelsblatt reports that deliveries to stores have dwindled, affecting Kaufland, Rewa, Edeka, and as well as Netto and penny discounters. Apparently those are stores. The manager of one Nachkauf store, Nachkauf, that's not like knockoff, like fake shit. It's Nachkauf, which is, what is Nachkauf? Anyone speak German? And that's it. There's a Kauf. I'm trying to remember. That's something head. No, Kauf is head. I don't know. Anyway, was transparent in his assertion that the situation is catastrophic. He stated that 1/4 of the store's shelves, easy for me to say, shelves are empty. Essential items such as milk, cheese, sausage, fruit, and frozen goods are in short supply. He listed the supply workers union are demanding a pay raise of 13%. Goodness gracious. So anyway, yeah, it's well, they better get their shit together. That's all I got to say. So thank you, Gunfox, for that one. Another one from Gunfox61. By the way, all these articles will be in the links at the end of the show. As you know, I dropped the link, called a one-tab link in the chat at the end of the show and into the description of both Rumble and YouTube. And it'll have every article that we touch on and even some that we might not have touched on. And when I say touched on, I don't mean like... Yeah, that's not what I mean, baby. We're not touching on that. Anyway, next. Now this is of course a opinion piece in MSNBC because Gunfox likes to make my head explode. Why China should stop using pandas as adorable political pawns. It seems that the American era of China's panda diplomacy may be coming to an end, but that may actually be better for pandas in the long term. So let's see. Now, am I going to get through this article, Gunfox? I'm not sure. Oh, they are in the Discord section as well. Yes, they are. Yes, I do put them in the Discord too. And the articles are in the Discord. Look, if you want head exploding articles, just go to Discord. Gunfox is prolific for that. Okay, on Wednesday, Mi Xiang and Tianshan, two giant panda bears who have lived in the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. for more than 2 decades, returned to China together with their cub, a 3-year-old named Zhao Qiji, aka also known as Little Miracle. In the last 4 years, the San Diego Zoo and the Memphis Zoo have also said goodbye to their pandas when their agreements with China expired. Zoo Atlanta is the last home to pandas in America, and its 4 bears will leave for their home country in 1 year unless the leases are extended. The departure of the pandas is sad for many fans, but not surprising. It seems that the American era of China's panda diplomacy may be coming to an end because China fucking hates us and they have Winnie the Pooh as their president. So who needs a panda when you got Winnie the Pooh coming to the whatever something conference in San Francisco? Anyway, they may actually be better for pandas in the long term. Oh, really? Why? China's push to use the bears as political pawns has downside. Yeah, see, the political pawns... look, pandas can't even talk, so whatever. Maybe it's... and China's push to use the bears as political pawns has downsides. Maybe it's time for an alternative charm offensive that don't hinge on controversial captive breeding programs. I visited the National Zoo in the summer of 1988 to see Xing and Ling Ling, the 2 pandas gifted to the U.S. by China in 1972. Outside the panda's enclosure were displayed many letters written to the bears by American children. They were some of the sweetest love letters I've ever written. I'm going to throw up. I don't care. Why do I care? Pandas are overrated trash. Okay. While Americans' love of the pandas has remained unchanged, what has changed is U.S.-China relations. Yeah, a little. After the untimely death of Lele, a panda on loan in the Memphis Zoo, anti-American insults filled China's cyberspace, accusing the zoo of being negligent, unresponsive, and insensitive to the feelings of the Chinese people. A Chinese editorial wondered if pandas in the U.S. would become victims of hysterical neo-McCarthyism. Yes, we're trying to indoctrinate the pandas that are lent to us from China. The Chinese public has a legitimate reason to question the well-being of the pandas on loan to foreign zoos, but their anger was misdirected. Oh, was it now? In 1941, Madame Chiang Kai-shek, China's first lady, presented 2 pandas to the U.S. to thank the American people for their support of China during World War II. The American officials used the cuddly gifts to craft a specific narrative portraying the Chinese as peaceful and non-aggressive people. In contrast to the Japanese, a military rival, this wartime attitude did not last long. Following the change of government in China and its allegiance with the Soviet Union, pandas lost their attractiveness. Yes, they changed their skin, or their fur became dingy and the black part lost its shine. Anyway, becoming another victim of the Red Scare and McCarthyism. Pandas are even included in the embargo on trade with China. Admittedly, animal gift giving is not confined to China. However, the nation's panda diplomacy remains culturally and politically potent. Besides the U.S., many other countries have received pandas as gifts or loaned exhibits. China's snuggly strategy toward is it weird to you, as I read this article, how they kind of make China the just gentle giant and giving us these snuggly, cuddly animals, and we're not doing our best to keep good relations with them. Isn't there an undertone of that in this? Is it just me? I don't know. Anyway, China's snuggly strategy towards the U.S. and Japan coincided with a 3-decade cooperative relationship with both countries. Chinese leaders used the panda gifts to reward both countries for engaging in China-friendly relations. Notably, China sent 2 pandas to Russia in 2019. In a few days, President Xi Jinping of China is coming to the United States for the annual APEC meeting. It is possible a good summit between Xi and President Joe Biden could result in pandas returning to the National Zoo. Well, God, I sure hope that Joe Biden pleases the boss while the boss is in town and we get 2 more pandas for the National Zoo. Who gives a rat's ass? Or a panda's, who gives a panda poop? Oh, but wait, there's more. But listen carefully. But there is a darker, more complicated side to this panda problem. Pandas on loan to foreign zoos are all captive bred, maintained, funded by the state, and operated ostensibly in the name of conservation. Captive breeding centers in China produce panda cubs that are adorable, but destined to live in their entire lives in captivity. Reintroduction into the wild when it is the goal is incredibly hard. So they sent those pandas back. Are they going to try to reintroduce them to the wild? Are they going to die in the wild because they can't take care of themselves because they're used to humans feeding them? Now there are several hundred more pandas living in the wild than there were in the 1980s. Well, so they're not on are they still on the endangered species list? Or are they just on the concerned about list? I don't know. Then we're living in the wild than we're in the 1980s. However, as the WWF, World Wildlife Fund, not the wrestling guys, warns wild pandas still face many risks. Wild pandas are segregated, careful of your language there, into dozens. Segregated into dozens of small isolated groups with little or no connection. Around 24 of these groups face survival difficulties. Human farming, animal herding, and mineral extraction have led to the destruction and fragmentation of pandas' natural habitats. Well, of course, because they're mining for cobalt all over China so we can have batteries for your fucking Tesla. Efforts have accelerated to build panda corridors. Oh, panda corridors. Is that like tunnels from Gaza into Israel? I don't know. Anyway, panda corridors where was I? Panda. Hang on, I lost my place. About pandas in the groups. Efforts have accelerated to build panda corridors to connect pandas trapped in isolated areas and to improve vegetation. So do they have signs like the pandas got to do the arrows? Here's your panda corridor. I don't even get it. Let's see. And improve vegetation, particularly the bamboo forest. There's a huge bamboo forest in Hawaii. I think they should have some put some pandas out there. Do pandas hurt people? I don't even know. There's because we were there. It's near the Akaka Falls. There's a big bamboo forest in there. Anyway, let's see. No matter how cute pandas are, they should no longer be used as tools of the state. It is time for China to demonstrate that it truly cares about conservation and evergreen strategy for cultivating global goodwill. The nation's hugely popular shutdown of its domestic ivory trade in 2017 is a great example, and China should do much more. Okay, that's just some, that's some... I got through it. Let's just put it that way. I'm done with that one. All right, last one from Gun Fox, and then I'll do headlines. Middle school counselor accused of grooming 14-year-old boy allegedly communicated with him on district messaging app. Oh, God. And this is in my hometown. Well, it's not my hometown, but it's my town of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Am I gonna just throw up after this one? Kellyanne Schutte. Oh, wait, why does this say Minneapolis here? But then this is something in Pennsylvania. This is from Law and Crime. Kellyanne Schutte appears in a booking photo. Where's the original article? It's really hard to. Is this the article? It's a lot easier to read there. Here it is. Let's do this. It's because I can scroll. I can't scroll on news, whatever that's called. Guidance counselor accused of grooming a 14-year-old boy in a romantic sexual relationship, allegedly communicated with him on school district messaging app. And they didn't find that out? Middle school counselor, this is in Pennsylvania. Why did it say Minneapolis on mine? Allegedly groomed a 14-year-old boy beginning in 2022 and engaged in a sexual relationship with him throughout this past summer, according to authorities. Kellyanne Schutte, 35, stands accused of 3 counts of institutional sexual assault / school intercourse or sexual contact with student. Oh, it's wait. Here's okay. I got a problem. Why is this not statutory grape? Oh, because it's a woman doing it. I got it. Never mind. With 3 counts of indecent assault of a person less than 16 years old, as well as 1 count of corruption of minors, according to Montgomery County court records. Penridge South Middle School. This is a middle school kid. This kid's like in 8th or 9th grade. Holy crap. The Penridge South Middle School counselor was arrested on Thursday. She had been on administrative leave for months prior. Word of the alleged illicit relationship first got out on July 17th when the boy called his parents asking him for a ride from Shitty's residence, according to a criminal complaint. I'm just going to call her Shitty from now on. From Shitty's residence. Wow. Okay. He called his parents to get a ride home after stooping the counselor. Then there's according to a criminal complaint obtained by Philadelphia-based NBC affiliate WCAU. The boy's parents obliged and found him hiding behind a parked vehicle. According to law enforcement, asked for an explanation. The boy allegedly said he was kissing Shitty in her home when one of the educator's family members caught them and then demanded the child leave the president. So, was it her husband? He had to run out there naked. The boy's mother then called the police and said her son was in a romantic sexual relationship with the defendant. On July 19th, the boy allegedly admitted to the investigators a relationship with Shitty that began during the fall semester of 2022 when the two sat together on a bus during a field trip. What, she gave him a handy or something? After that, the child allegedly told police the counselor regularly called him to her office that year, sometimes causing him to miss class. Eventually, the boy allegedly said he and Shitty engaged in sexual activity in both Bucks and Montgomery counties. Oh, they crossed county lines. According to CBS News, one such sexual act occurred inside the counselor's car near her home in Montgomery County. On the same day, the boy later called his parents. Another time in June, when the boy's parents and sister were out of town, Shitty allegedly engaged in a sexual act with the boy at his home in Buckhead. She even, oh my God, she even did they do it in his parents' bed or something? What the hell? This goes on and on and on. So anyway, the defendant was arraigned Friday. Court records show a preliminary hearing in her case set for November 10th. Shitty was released on a $25,000 unsecured bail under conditions that mandate she stay away from all Penridge School District property and have no contact with the alleged victim. In the statement, the district acknowledged the defendant has been on leave since July when the investigation began, and so on and so forth. So, just another one. What is it? And I mean, look, let's take a quick peek at her again. Okay, this is Shitty right here. I mean, she's 35 years old and she's an attractive lady. Why is she going after children? Just don't do it with the children. You know what I mean? She'll get a slap on the wrist and then she'll get a job in another state and do it again because, they don't do anything, the women who do this. All right, now we got to get through a lot of headlines, and I'm not, again, nothing too deep today. In Breitbart, the Biden doctrine treating the slaughter of Jews as a PR crisis. There took 3 days for President Biden to personally remark on the October 7th massacre in Israel. He moved slowly to make his comments, as he usually does, though for once, he actually appeared to get the general sentiment correct. So, in this moment, we must be crystal clear. We stand with Israel. We stand with Israel, and we will make sure that Israel has what it needs to take care of its citizens, defend itself, and respond to the attack. Again, look, you're way behind the boat here, sir. Israel already has what they need to take care of business, and they do it probably better than any military in the world. Believe me, remember, like, ever since it existed, the whole Arab fucking continent went after them, and they beat them all in 6 days. So Israel's always been the most capable. You know, you just worry about, what's going on in Iran. Hello, Andrew Thorsten. What's up? Nice to see you. So anyway, but then days later, it was a good start, but being that it was a national security foreign policy issue, it was only a matter of time before he fucked things up, which is not what Obama said. It's just a matter of time before Joe Biden fucks things up because, that's just Joe Biden. My right-hand man. Days later, Biden would jettison his decisive tone, softening his message to lame equivocations. He and others in his administration, like Secretary of State Tony Blinken, repeatedly called for a humanitarian pause, not, they insist, a ceasefire, a distinction which they struggle to articulate. A pause, a ceasefire, whatever they want to call it, favors Hamas, and Hamas would be able to regroup while Israel is prevented from dismantling their murderous terrorist regime. So, they're treating it like a PR crisis. He's not being decisive. He's just, in fact, his handlers, I'm sure, are just trying to keep his mouth shut so he doesn't piss off one side or the other, which he's already pissing off both sides. So fuck him. Apparently, a soldier found an Arabic copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf in China's children's room in Gaza. Israeli Defense Forces found an Arabic copy of Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf in a children's room at a home inside of Gaza as its forces continue to root out Hamas terrorists inside the territory. President Isaac Herzog, first revealed the discovered book during an interview with the BBC and showed that terrorists had written various notes in Arabic and highlighted passages in the book. So, hey, that's fucking fantastic. There you go. Mein Kampf in Arabic. Let's, I'm sorry. Is anybody in this audience shocked about that? If you are shocked, put an O in the chat, as in, oh, no way. And if not, just put a 1. If you're not shocked, put a 1. If you're shocked, put a 0. All right, in Daily Wire, apparently there's a man who was raised by Hamas who's been interviewed. A former Hamas terrorist in training told the Israeli news station of his brutal upbringing, including watching other children being beheaded and being forced to lie in graves to practice being a martyr, as he was indoctrinated by Hamas in Gaza during his childhood. Could you fucking imagine? Hello, Maddie. How you doing? Okay, I'm going to read this paragraph again because this is crazy. A former Hamas terrorist in training told an Israeli news station of his brutal upbringing, including watching other children being beheaded and being forced to lie in graves to practice being a martyr, as he was indoctrinated by Hamas in Gaza during his childhood. Could you? Oh my God. Yaron Abraham was born in Lod, an Israeli city near Tel Aviv, before he was transported to Gaza for Hamas jihadi training at one of the most extreme mosques in the region. Abraham later escaped and was taken in by an Israeli family, after which Abraham joined the Israeli military and converted to Judaism. Abraham told a story in an interview to Channel 13 News. The interview was conducted in Hebrew. The Daily Wire obtained an English transcript of what he said. Abraham lived in Lod until he turned 9. One of his sisters, and the one he was closest to among his siblings, was murdered over family honor, he said. I started asking questions, wanting to understand what happened. He said his family feared he would complicate things for them if he stayed in Lod. Sent and they sent Abraham to an extremist mosque in Gaza for his education. At the mosque, Abraham underwent training to be a shaheed, a religious martyr for Islam. The school day ran from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. His education began with memorizing the entire Quran, including Sharia law. From there, we started to understand what was the goal of this institution. What is the goal? To turn yourself into a shaheed. They did not give us weapons. They did not give us knives. They were working on turning us into living weapons or suicide bombers. So that's the upbringing that he had. Hello. Did I say hi to you, James Stoner? Well, I'm saying hi now, and also Josephine. And it's Select a Boy, too. You're in the house. Nice to see you.
Yeah, boy.
So anyway, the whole story you can read in Daily Wire. In the New York Post, Palestinians don't want to govern Gaza. And here's why. Well, because right now Hamas is, and then Hamas will fuck them up. Gaza must include Palestinian-led governance and be unified with the West Bank under Palestinian Authority, according to Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. The only problem is the Palestinians have made it clear they refuse to govern Gaza after the war. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas told Blinken the Palestinian Authority would govern Gaza only as a part of a comprehensive deal that includes the Palestinian Authority governing all the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Either the Palestinian Authority gets all of the 1967 territory, or let Israel figure out how to manage Gaza. Hello, Dark Resurrect. What's up? And Rick Ashbringer, too. Abbas visited Jenin in the West Bank in July, the first time since 2012. So they don't want any part of Gaza because Gaza's fucked up over there. But also because they want to, apparently want to govern everything, and they just can't. Let's see. What's here? Abbas thinks he can govern all of the 1967 territory when he can barely impose control inside Ramallah. Yeah, they're... That place is crazy, man. Reverend Tex Watson, how you doing? How you doing? That's a new name, and it's and you got C Bishop on Rumble too. What's up? So that little notification will pop up. Thanks for the $5. I appreciate you, Reverend Tex. I say something in the chat so I can say hi. All right, Daily Wire. Apparently, Grand Central Station was targeted by a pro-Palestinian mob. A mob of pro-Palestinian protesters attempted to kick in a door at Grand Central Station in New York City on Friday night as demonstrators throughout the city tore down American flags and vandalized buildings. The demonstrations were part of a Flood Manhattan for Gaza protest organized by the pro-Palestinian group Within Our Lifetime and the City University of New York for Palestine. These universities, man, they just, whatever reason, they've indoctrinated these people to hate Jewish people. It's fucked up, man. In the aftermath of the Hamas terrorist attacks in Israel, pro-Palestine protests have popped out throughout the U.S. Yes, we've seen that. New York Post reporter Stephen Vago shared images and videos of the unruly protests, which eventually prompted authorities to temporarily shut down Grand Central Station. In one video from Vago, a group of men holding Palestinian flags can be seen trying to kick in the doors outside the train station, which is this video here. You can watch it on your own because I've got to keep going. Protesters also placed a sticker on a Dior store in Manhattan that said, "Resist colonial power by any means necessary." One photo shows. Another photo showed police congregating outside of Starbucks after a couple of protesters yelled, "Burn down Starbucks." So basically, PLM is on the move, as Hotep Jesus calls them, because they're basically just... it's a lot of them are just the BLM people just converting because they have, it's the thing of the day. It's the new shiny object is to be in a Palestinian protest. Hello, Shirio Gospel. How you doing? All right. And again, thank you, Reverend Tex Watson, dropping a 5 spot in the tip jar. Greatly appreciated. So anyway, yeah, and these protests are a whole lot of different places. Again, and also Palestinian protests in New York honor Veterans Day by ripping down U.S. flags. In a shocking incident that triggered widespread outrage online, a pro-Palestinian mob can be seen cheering on a protester who climbed a flagpole and tore down U.S. flags as demonstrators marched through central Manhattan over Veterans Day weekend. Wasn't that special? One viral clip depicts New York City police officers looking on as pro-Palestinian activists scaled the city streetlights to desecrate the flag. So this is the clip. and they're taking down the American flags. Hell, isn't that special? I think it's time. Never mind. I can't say it because that'd be wrong. So anyway, Palestinian activist in a headscarf angrily throws American flags to the ground on Veterans Day in New York City. Several flags were replaced with the Palestinian flag. Isn't that special? So more video of some of the protests in New York City there. Free Beacon, apparently there's a progressive dark money behemoth that could face criminal charges over the anti-Israel protests. Dark Resurrect. I already said hi to you, but anyway, if you hate this country, leave. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Anti-Israel activists who attempting to blockade the U.S. military ship bound for Israel belong to a subsidiary of a top left-wing dark money group. Experts say their potentially illegal actions could put that group at risk of losing its nonprofit status. The Arab Resource and Organizing Center organized a direct action protest in the port of Tacoma, Washington, in an effort to stop the MV Cape Orlando from leaving the port to aid the Jewish state. The Arab Resource and Organizing Center is a fiscal sponsorship of the Tides Center. Remember that name? The Tides Foundation, Tides Center, a 501c3, and one of the largest left-wing dark money organizations in the country. That means there is no legal distinction between the Tides Center and the Arab Resource and Organizing Center. Employees of the latter are employees of the former. That could pose a problem for the Tides Center, which creates pop-up groups to advance progressive causes. Federal authorities have opened a criminal investigation into the Arab Resource Organizing Center for its protest. If the government charges the group with a crime, they could have grounds to strip the Tide Center of its nonprofit status. Now, there's a reason that ain't going to happen. There's a reason that ain't going to happen. Because the Tide Center is reliably promoting left-wing causes. And most of the people in government, most of the people in the Capitol, especially the bureaucracy part of the government, are all left-wing lunatics. So it sounds like it could happen, but it's not. It sounds like it happened, but it's not. I can't think of a line. It's the left. If you know what tune I was singing right now, put a 1 in the chat. On the Daily Wire, Ivy League school shuts down anti-Semitic Palestinian student groups. What? In the Ivy League? No way! Columbia University announced on Friday that it was banning 2 anti-Semitic student groups on campus for the remainder of the fall term after they repeatedly violated school rules. I thought this was required of every student group to be pro-Palestinian. The private New York City school suspended Students for Justice in Palestine and Jewish Voice for Peace as official student groups in light of their recent actions on campus. This decision was made after the 2 groups repeatedly violated university policies related to holding campus events, culminating in an unauthorized event on Thursday afternoon that proceeded despite warnings and included threatening rhetoric and intimidation, said Gerald Roseberg, Senior Executive Vice President of the university and Chair of Special Committee on Campus Safety. Wow, that's a big title. Suspension means the 2 groups will not be eligible to hold events on campus or receive university funding. He added, lifting the suspension will be contingent on the 2 groups demonstrating a commitment to compliance with university policies and engaging in consultations at a group leadership level with university officials. Now, here's what now this is interesting. Listen to this. This is how they describe the Jewish Voice for Peace. Jewish Voice for Peace is an anti-Semitic organization that has held numerous anti-Israel rallies after Hamas murdered 1,400 Israelis in an unprecedented terrorist attack last month. Isn't it? Now, okay. Jewish Voice for Peace is anti-Semitic. What? Now, look, not everyone who's anti-Zionist is anti-Semitic, but I think they're wrong-headed, whatever. Jewish Voice for Peace is a radical anti-Israel and anti-Zionist activist group that advocates for the boycott of Israel and eradication of Zionism, according to the ADL, which adds that they have expressed support for violence and occasionally classic anti-Semitic tropes. So maybe they're not really Jewish, or they're just radical leftists, which there are some Jewish radical leftists, or not necessarily religious Jewish, but just Jewish, as in they were born Jewish and they are radical leftists now. Students for the Justice in Palestine has explicitly endorsed the actions of Hamas and their armed attack on Israeli civilians and voiced increasingly radical call for confronting and dismantling Zionism on U.S. college campuses. Okay, so that's apparently they held some rallies that were notice they're getting in trouble for holding unauthorized rallies. Was it so much for what I guess it said for the endorsing Hamas's attack. All right, moving on. Washington Free Beacon. And also now at Harvard too. Harvard, which has done very little to discourage the anti-Jew hate on their campus. Harvard grad student captured on film accosting classmate removed from proctor role. Oh my goodness. So they are no longer one of those like student teacher type deals. The Harvard University graduate student who was captured on video accosting a Jewish student at a campus protest has been removed from his role as a freshman proctor, according to a report. Elam Teddy Tamaklo was indefinitely relieved of his duties following his involvement in the protest, according to the Harvard Krinsman, which is their paper, which cited a petition that began circulating Friday evening and a student with direct knowledge of the situation. That petition, according to the campus paper, said the university asked Tetley Tamaklo to leave his campus dorm over student discomfort. What? Has to leave his campus dorm? The move comes 3 weeks after the Washington Free Beacon first reported footage from October 18th die-in protest, during which Teddy Tamaklo and the other protester pushed, shoved, and surrounded a first-year Israeli student at Harvard Business School. The protesters used keffiyehs to block their own faces, those the scarves that the Palestinians wear, and the Jewish student's view while shouting shame. So they basically were intimidating the Jewish student, and so he's got suspended from his duties. Good. He should have been. And I'm surprised it happened at Harvard. I'm surprised Harvard didn't give him an award. Daily Wire, MIT, and at MIT, another Ivy League school blasted for protecting anti-Semitic students over fears they'd lose their visas. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology took considerable backlash over a statement explaining why more actions hadn't been taken against students who promoted anti-Semitic and even genocidal slogans while participating in pro-Palestinian demonstrations on campus. While MIT is the only American college campus where is not the only American college campus where protests are taking place, critics noted that it is the first to shed some light on why anti-Semitic protests and demonstrations are getting overlooked with regard to disciplinary action. Okay, this should be good. Joel Petlin shared the statement along with his own observations, noting that the school had apparently refrained from taking action because they were concerned that foreign students who made up nearly 1/3 of the MIT student body could have their visas revoked. And what? Okay, so I get it. Oh wait, I just figured it out. Foreign students at Ivy League schools are probably the most likely students to be paying full tuition. I'm going to guess that they're worried about their money. That's the only thing I can think of. They're worried that foreign students who made up nearly 1/3 of the MIT student body could have their visas revoked. Oh, you mean the full paying students? I can't think of a better example, saying the quiet part out loud, that MIT admitted they won't expel anti-Semitic students because they will lose their student visas and be deported. How many other colleges are protecting dangerous people who don't belong in America, he asked. Incredible admission from an MIT president. Visas are why the students who are threatening Jews on campus are not being expelled. That explains it. It's about the money. You know, they always make that thing about remember when Ilhan Omar made the little anti-Semitic slur? It's all about the Benjamins. Guess who it's really about the Benjamins for? Ha! These colleges, these Ivy League schools. All right, legal insurrection. I got to hurry up here. Apparently, Oberlin College. Now, if you're not familiar with Oberlin College, it's a small private university in Ohio that has to pay $35 million to a bakery across the street because they tried to fuck up his business because he caught some hoes stealing wine, or a hoe, or a young woman, upstanding citizen who was stealing wine, and then the campus protests or whatever, and they ruined the business of the bakery, and then the bakery won a $36 million lawsuits, which Oberlin's having to pay them. Oberlin College under federal investigation for campus culture of anti-Semitism. It's on these campuses. It's like they're teaching this shit. After years of fighting anti-Semitism at her alma mater, Oberlin College graduate Melissa Landa has finally had a breakthrough. In September, the Office for Civil Rights and the U.S. Department of Education announced it is investigating the charges she filed against the school back in 2019. So this is not new at some of these campuses. Thanks to a Trump-era executive order, the OCR probe could cost the school millions of dollars in federal funding while they're paying off a $35 million debt to the bakery across the street. Legal Insurrection readers have had a break from nonstop news about Oberlin, whose 6-year court battle with Gibson Bakeries was doggedly covered here until last December. But this high-stakes legal battle puts the school back in the spotlight. It comes amid a nationwide surge in campus anti-Semitism, emboldened by this October 7th massacre from thousands of miles away, the worst attack on Jews since the Holocaust, unleashed the worst outbreak of anti-Semitic attacks on college campuses that anyone can remember. So, apparently, you know what's funny? When I was choosing schools in college back in 1981 or 82, well, not 80, it was the year before, my junior year, like 80, 81. There were two schools that I thought of going to. One was Oberlin College because they had a really great music program there. I was going to be a music major. And then I ended up choosing Drake because it was a lot closer to home. The music program wasn't as prestigious, but it was good enough and it was close to home and whatever, because those are the two schools that I was thinking about going to, and I was choosing between the two in the end. But you know, when you're in high school, you don't know the indoctrination and ideological makeup of schools you're thinking of going to. And holy shit, I'm glad I didn't go to Oberlin. Or at least now, because then all my alumni donations would be going to bakeries and you know, people suing the school. In Daily Caller, Hamas loves queers. Jewish man rips queers for Palestine protester a new one. This is, you know, again, it's you know, slugs for salt. It's kind of like, what are you doing? Here's a Queers for Palestine protest in New York City is hilarious. Let's just watch this.
Go home! Yeah, where were you for the Syrian 300,000 civilians? Did you open your mouth then?
We are pride, trans pride. We say no to genocide. We are pride, trans pride. We say no to genocide.
As you have,
we say no to genocide.
it's what are they thinking? Queers for Palestine. Yeah, that's wait, here's what I want them to go march in Palestine with those signs. No pride in apartheid. There's no pride in Palestine, in Gaza. The Gaza Pride Parade was canceled, but they sure have them in Israel. It's slugs for salt. I'm sorry. It's amazing. Lesbians for liberation. You got to be fucking kidding me. All right, moving on. Legal insurrection. Israel response to October 7th massacre triggers virulent anti-Semitic pro-Hamas demonstrations across Europe. Yeah, there was a big one in London over the weekend, and there was is on Remembrance Day, which is kind of the equivalent to our Memorial, or not Memorial Day, our Veterans Day. Except I think it's more like our Memorial Day, I think. But so on that day, they decided to have this million march for Palestine. There were some scuffles and stuff, no big deal. But it's all across Europe. It's there's a lot of pro-Hamas demonstrations, and you got to worry because I'm sure the Jewish people who live around Europe still are going, what the fuck is going on here? Also, there's mosques that pray for the annihilation of Jews. They also receive money from the Biden administration. A federal program to help nonprofit groups protect against terrorist attacks has given millions of dollars to mosques and Islamic groups that have praised terrorists and called for the destruction of Israel, according to the Washington Free Beacon Review. The Department of Homeland Security awarded the California-based Masjid al-Ansar Mosque with $100,000 on March 9th under the Nonprofit Security Grants Program. Mustafa Kamal, the imam at Masjid al-Ansar, earlier this year called Jews a bigoted and arrogant breed of people and prayed they will be annihilated in a war over the Holy Land, according to the Middle East Media Research Institute. So they're giving, the Biden administration is giving, it's giving mosques for money that that are preaching for the annihilation of Israelis and all Jews. Okay, very good. And then there's the Islamic Center in Detroit, which received $150,000 on October 12, 2022. Its head, Imam Imran Salih, said at a pro-Palestinian rally days after the Hamas invasion of Israel that Muslims have a fire in our hearts that will burn that state until its demise. During a sermon in March, he referred to the sick, disgusting Zionist regime and prayed, may Allah eradicate them from existence. Well, he's special. There's a list of a few other mosques in the article, but you get the point. Biden administration is funding it. Fan-fucking-tastic. Now, we noted the other day that John Fetterman shocked some people with his unwavering support for Israel. Democrats are tearing themselves apart over Israel. They're far-left base and members of the squad clearly anti-Israel, while Biden and the other Democrats are trying to walk a fine line on the issue. Meanwhile, Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania is showing unwavering support for Israel, and he doesn't care who knows about it. How refreshing. Again, we got to give him props. We saw the picture of him waving the Israeli flag as some other protesters were being taken away. Some were being arrested because they were doing some stupid shit. And Fetterman walked by waving an Israeli flag. So, more power to him. I'm glad he, whatever. We'll see what happens with him. He'll probably be primaried now. In the Federalist, enough of the Israel stuff. David Weiss gives more conflicting testimony about his authority to charge Hunter Biden. You can read this one. Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss testified on Tuesday that before his appointment as special counsel earlier this year, a top Justice Department official gave him special attorney authority in May of 2022 to proceed with the charges against Hunter Biden in Washington, D.C. or California. That testimony would have been an explosive twist in the House investigation. Wait, did I read that right? Gave him special security. Because but then he lied and now he won't admit he said that. That's what it is. So, he's conflicting. His testimony is going all over the place. And so there's a question of whether, if Merrick Garland has thumbs on the scale, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean by that, right? And also, let's see. Oh, and then, so apparently some of that little manifesto of the Covenant School, the shooter, that human being, leaked, and it was all like anti-white shit, and then this and cracker this and cracker that. And it's a white girl, right? I mean, white dude or whatever that person is, that white female that thinks that thought that, I should say in past tense, thought that they were a male. And apparently the Department of Justice and FBI pride themselves on being the top federal agencies to investigate and prosecute the perpetration of hate crimes. Their zeal for tracking down racists and targeting Americans based on fabricated white supremacy allegations apparently stops, however, when it comes to classifying the type of anti-white crimes that occurred at Covenant School earlier this year. Audrey Hale, the woman masquerading as a man, shot and killed 3 kids, whatever. So anyway, the bottom line is that a lot of that manifesto was anti-white or whatever, and so they refused to make it a hate crime because, well, you can't have a hate crime against white people because, white people have never been oppressed in the history of the world. All right, moving on. Except for these slaves in the Middle East in the 1500s and whatever. And also on college campuses, if you're trying to get into an Ivy League school, check something besides check that you're left-handed, biracial, non-binary person, and you're more likely to get into an Ivy League school. Data, 40% of Americans want a leader who will break rules to fix America. I disagree. I disagree. No, I want them to follow the rules that we have. The rules we have are pretty good. It's just that nobody follows them. Almost 40% of Americans believe things have gotten so far off track that the United States the country needs a leader who is willing to break some rules if that's what it takes to set things right. Nope, don't. I'm not one of them. American Value Survey for 2023 found that 48% of Republicans, 38% of independents, and even 29% of Democrats now believe a rule breaker may be required to get the country back on track for 38% of Americans overall. Let's not. No. I don't want them breaking. I just want them to use the rules that are in place correctly. And maybe that'll help. Like, not spending more than we have. That would be a good start. And maybe just following the Constitution. That'd be a really good start. Apparently, the media is in panic mode over questions about whether they knew about in advance about Hamas's attack on Israel. So, there are reports that there were photojournalists and media people that were running with Hamas, like had pictures and stuff like during this thing that was happening. So anyway, on October 7th, 4 photojournalists who provide reporting and photos for the likes of the Associated Press, CNN, and the New York Times and Reuters and other outlets were allegedly at the Israeli border with Hamas terrorists. Not just there, but they were there with the Hamas terrorists who committed acts of atrocities against innocent Israeli civilians that shocked the world. Now, since an Israeli-supporting news watchdog website reported the claim, everyone wants to know if these Gaza-based reporters knew in advance about the attack, and more importantly, if they could have saved lives by alerting the world about it. The question arises, did the AP, CNN, the New York Times, and Reuters know about the Hamas terror attack in advance? And the allegations have sent major news media into a panic and generated even more mistrust in the corporate press. Website Honest Reporter, which chronicles coverage of Israel by an increasingly one-sided press, contrasts the Hollywood and crisis actor coverage by Hamas and its agents, asks, is it conceivable to assume that journalists just happened to appear early in the morning at the border without prior coordination with the terrorists, or were they part of the plan? Well, it seems like they knew, and now the media is they're squirming a little bit about it, because now it's like, oh, you fuckers knew, and you didn't do nothing about it. Who knows? So, good story than that. Now, let's just do headlines, because I had to go. In human events, the First Amendment means we get to make jokes. Douglas Mackey should not be serving time for a meme. That would be the guy who's known as Ricky Vaughn, who's going to jail because he did a meme about Hillary Clinton, and it was anti-Hillary Clinton, so he's going to go to serve some jail time for it. That was from 2016. Unbelievable. In Breitbart, New York Times claims economic turmoil if Trump enforces border laws. Yes, because we're not having any form of economic turmoil right now. It's New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, Denver. None of these cities are experiencing any kind of economic turmoil because of the increasingly flow of illegal immigrants in our country. So the New York Times says there'll be an economic turmoil if we enforce the border laws, not if we don't let the flow continue. Fucking brilliant. In the Daily Caller, Biden administration is pursuing total domination over Americans' digital lives. That's kind of has to do with they're using between the FCC and the that AI executive order. Joe Biden's handlers are going to be controlling your lives. Let's put it that way, at least online. I don't have time to get into it. Breitbart, Klaus Schwab and WEF's secret blueprint to control every aspect of your life. Oh, maybe Joe Biden's been in touch with Klaus Schwab and he's been getting advice. The advisors, the handlers. The handlers are probably all Klaus Schwab proteges, and so they want to know how to control everyone's life in the world, and you'll own nothing, and you'll like it. In legal insurrection, U.S. court overturns the EPA's ban on important organophosphate insecticide. This is a wild. The chlorpyrifos, also known as chlorpyrifos ethyl, is an organophosphate pesticide easy for me to say, that is applied to crops and animals to kill several varieties known of insects and worms. It has been used in the U.S. since 1965 to help control a variety of pests on alfalfa, citrus, soybean, peaches, pecans, tree nuts, and fruit and vegetable crops. The EPA banned it, I think, in 2021, and now the Court of Appeals has overturned the ban. Hey, you know what? Grow your own food. eat good food, and then you don't have to worry about that shit. Scientists want meat slapped with a cigarette-style warning labels about climate change. Fuck you. They want you got to read it. Media Research Center. Freshman shot dead by career criminal released earlier this year for incompetence to stand trial. Yeah, and that has nothing to do with Rashida Taliban. But this person who was on release ended up killing another person. It's just, the catch and release program in crime is not good. But it's, look, it's not always happening. I think we learn more about these things just because we have such a huge view of the world from constant media. And I don't think people are actually supposed to know everything that goes on in the world. I'm contributing to that right now, aren't I? I am contributing to that, but sometimes you just go, ugh. In New Jersey, the teachers union has called for the end of basic skills test requirement. A New Jersey teacher union is pushing to eliminate basic skills tests for teachers, according to a statement issued with, well, why would you need basic skills tests for teachers when you don't care if the students learn anything anyway? The New Jersey Education Association released a statement touting their goal to lower the bar for aspiring teachers and encourage allies to write letters to the governor expressing support for the cause. Last year, New Jersey eliminated the ED TPA, a barrier to becoming a certified teacher. Now is the time to eliminate another barrier, the basic skills test for teachers. A statement read, why would a teacher need basic skills? Who cares? I mean, they're all they're learning about is gender and fucking LGBTQ shit in class. Just let them go in there and wave the rainbow flags. You don't need to know anything else. No one needs to know math or how to read. Who needs that shit? Again, and how this is the Federals, how Republicans can exploit Democrats' intersectional obsession to peel Muslim voters away. Yeah, which is true. And look, some of my Muslim friends think the Democrats are nuts. I'm just saying, they do. And they're just like, they're like, wait, they want to do what? They want your kids to do what? Do you want to be able to do what with your kids in schools? And they want to be doing this and that. The Muslim people I know are cool people. And although I haven't really talked to them much about the Palestine thing. So I'm curious about that. And I'm sure we're going to argue about that. But still, there are a lot of things that the Abrahamic faiths have in common. And, Republicans could exploit that. Are they going to? No, because they're pussies and they don't want to go anywhere where they're afraid they might not be welcome. So this is a pipe dream. Tim Scott has suspended his 2024 presidential campaign. Oh, no! Tim Scott, what happened? He unexpectedly announced on Sunday night that he was suspending his 2024 presidential campaign as polls showed him failing to gain traction in a race increasingly dominated by former President Donald Trump. Well, poor Tim Scott. I mean, I like the guy, but sometimes he says some stupid shit too, just like everybody does. It's not unique. House Democrat, and then there's a House Democrat who's planning to resign early in 2024. What's his name? Brian Higgins, a Democrat from New York who represents Buffalo and the surrounding area that leans heavily towards the Democratic Party, revealed his plans to step down in February, 19 years after he first joined the House. The congressman did not immediately share what he plans to do next, but he reportedly is leaving to become president of Shays Performing Arts Center. He's a member of the House Ways and Means Committee as well as the House Budget Committee. So this is a guy who's been around a while. He's on a prestigious committee, and he's going to leave Congress early? Okay. What scandal is going to befall Representative Higgins? Wrong answers only in the chat right now. Legal insurrection. Squad Radical Summer League gets some bad polling news and a formidable primary challenger. Representative Summer Lee, Democrat of Pennsylvania, is a squad member who you don't hear much about in the news, not because she's not obnoxious and screechingly loud, but because her colleagues in what's been referred to as the Hamas caucus have mastered the art of engaging such behavior. Backed by Justice Democrats, the same woke pack that guided Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in New York to her upset victory in 2018, Lee, a freshman congresswoman, won her seat in a blaze of glory in 2022 and was hailed as the first black woman ever elected to Congress from Pennsylvania. But what's little known about Lee outside the 12th congressional district she represents, though, is that the 2022 Democratic Party, she barely squeaked by with a little over 40% in a crowded 5-person race, winning by just 988 votes over the second-place finisher, Steve Irwin, a Jewish Democrat who is the chair of the Pennsylvania Advisory Committee of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. So she could be out. You might be losing another one of those squad members. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But, yeah, she's a member of the squad, and she could be losing there. He didn't caught with the dead naked 10-year-old who had been OD'd on meth. I don't know. Ways and means is important. I know it is. All right. I don't have time for the rest. Pennsylvania, Dave McCormick takes the most. Oh, it's possible. Well, there's a primary. Let's see. In Pennsylvania, Dave McCormick takes on the most inconsequential senator. Oh, that's got to be, what's his name? Josh Shapiro? No, that's the governor. Fetterman. Or is it Casey? I don't know. There's someone running for senator in Pennsylvania. I don't care. Daily Wire, U.S. strikes Iranian terrorist facilities in Syria. Multiple terrorists killed, reports. So, yay. Hello, Black Cleavers, you're light.
That's right.
Germany bans support for public support of Hamas. The German government has introduced a ban on any public display of support for the terrorist organization Hamas in an effort to counter the country's growing anti-Semitism. Wow. The ban also incorporates the Hamas sympathizing Samadun group, which organized celebrations in Berlin immediately after the violent attack on Israel on October 7th. So, Germany's cracking down on anti-Semitism. Wow. It's all, in a way, did I just close that by accident? In a way, it's ironic, isn't it? Reopen that tab. Vivek's no neocon pledge hits at the heart of the war machine. That's from the debate. You can read that one on your own. Best position to fight for conservative victories. Speaker Johnson announces plan to avoid government shutdown. Okay, that's interesting. Don't care. I don't care if the government shutdowns. I like it when the government shuts down. If the government shuts down, they're not voting to take more of our money and give it to Ukraine. And then a couple more articles on San Francisco. There's a few more articles, but I got to go, guys. I'm way, way past my bedtime. No, not really. I got to leave, though. So I want to thank you all who joined me today on the Morning Night Live. Bring a friend tomorrow. See if you can bring a friend tomorrow. See if you can get someone else to watch with you and join us in the chat. That'll be your challenge for tomorrow. I got to go, though. So abrupt ending. There'll be a few more articles you can check out in the links. Oh, 4 of these are gun foxes, so those are at the end. So I hope you had fun. I had fun. Have a great day. My name is P. Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. I got to go. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P-Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.